There is no shame in going bald. There's no shame in balding. But there is comedy. And let's address this. This is actually a good thing. See, for very insecure people who haven't lived much life yet, they hear what I just said and they're already giving me a thumbs down because they think what I'm saying is that if you're losing your hair young, then you deserve to be made fun of and ridiculed. Because an insecure person would think that. A secure person hears that and thinks of it a completely different way. So let's assess this from a person who's confident, who doesn't need hair to know his own identity. Let's reimagine this. So let me start over and say that again. And that is, there is no shame in going bald, but there is comedy. So something I have been very clear about is that one of the things that makes men attractive beyond what we look like, which are actually the things that make us the most attractive, it's not actually our physical looks, and the fact that you keep thinking that your physical looks mean that much only reinforces the fact that you're talking about how you are attracted to females. That has nothing to do with how females are attracted to you. With that being said, females are attracted to humor. Something I have said multiple times on this channel. Famous quote by Marilyn Monroe. If you can make a girl laugh, you can make her do anything. Now, granted, I'm a clean, PG-rated kind of guy, so I'm not taking that to the level some of you are. But ultimately, the concept is that it's that important to be funny. You need to be funny, and if you're not funny, you should worry that you're not funny. You need to stop watching my channel right now and just start watching other YouTube channels that teach men how to be funny. There's all kinds of different types of humor. Be funny. That's so important. So imagine this. This past weekend, I was actually visiting a church back in my hometown where I'm from. And one of the teachers there, who's a little bit older than me, and completely bald and shaves his head. And he's actually one of the men I respect most in this life, actually. And he just happens to be completely bald. And something that in the middle of talking in the class, he was saying something about, like, if God would answer our prayers and give us whatever we want, it would mean that we wouldn't have a reason to have faith in God. If we just got everything, it wouldn't be faith anymore. It'd be just a magical genie. And so as a joke, in front of 30 people in this class, he said, because if we could wish for anything, heck, I'd wish for hair. And this is coming from a guy who has zero hair. What hair he does have, he shaves off. And everybody laughed. And he totally owned it. He wasn't making fun of himself in a pitiful way. He was making fun of himself in a way that they all thought, because it takes a confident man to point out the fact that he's balding in a way like that. The whole concept is, if there is a way that someone can tease you or make fun of you, you want to be the first to point it out, because that shows confidence that you own it. And so he knew that comedy equals confidence for men. Men are required to be funny in order to be relevant. We are. That is not required of females. Yes, females can do anything. Let females be firefighters. Let females become president. No one's requiring females to be comedians. They can be, but that's not important to the female identity in the same way it is for men. It's very important that we're funny. So, if a guy can joke at his own balding, joke at his own whatever physical traits about him that are different than whatever the Hollywood standard is supposed to be, or even other things too. Something I regularly make fun of is the fact of how awful I am at any kind of technical things. Like, I can't do anything to fix a car. I mean, I can change a flat tire, that's about it. But you've seen the video I've shot with my dad. He has a shop. He works on cars. He builds cars. He can build anything. He can fix anything. And despite being his only son, I got zero of that. Instead, I got all the artistic communication stuff. I'm very good at that sort of thing. Comes to fixing cars or anything. No. And I openly talk about that. I'm not Mr. Fix-It. So and it goes back to what I've always said. Confident men know what they're good at, and they know what they're bad at. And when you know what you're bad at, or you know whatever keeps you from being the ideal in some certain standards, totally own that enough to be the first to tease, to make fun of yourself. Because people will laugh, not at you, but they're actually laughing with you in that way. So I see no shame in balding. I definitely see comedy in balding. I think it's important that you're the one to bring it up first and basically prove how confident you are, prove that you're funny, because those are the things you're actually being judged on. I am Nick Shell. I am the life of the hair loss party. I am the living legend of hair loss. Your comments, they belong right here.